Hi, good afternoon. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Zach Soper. I just moved into the community in February. My wife and I moved from Salt Lake City. I've lived there my whole life, but she's lived there with me for the last 6 years. We had a daughter in 2016, so she's just over a year old now. And we're excited to be a part of the community here.
Fantastic, thank you. So, Zach, what is your vision, both short and long term, for the Castle Oaks Master Homeowners Association?
I think the vision for me is just to establish stronger community, not to allow the HOA to dictate everything, but hopefully, to operate more of like a government where, in the sense, the people should work together to fix problems in their community. And then, the HOA hopefully would just enforce things that, you can't enforce as a neighbor. So really, I think it's more community focused, and that's really, I think the stronger you build a community, the less problems you're going to have in your community, the more accountability you can have in your community, and I think the higher satisfaction of life as well.
Great, thank you very much. Describe why you would like to be on the board, and if given the opportunity, what do you see as a priority for the board?
I think my mentality was, well, if we're going to have a board of directors, and if I care about it, then I don't want to just leave that to somebody else to take care of. I want to be a part of making decisions and be a part of what goes on in the community. So, if I want to make sure that it's a positive community for myself, I better have a part in that. So, just taking self-ownership there. So I really believe in that. And I'm sorry, the second part of the question?
If you were given the opportunity, what do you see as a priority for the board?
Listen to the community, and do your best to adhere to the community. But also, I think the priority is to actually have a vision for your HOA, to understand and give direction to the community as to what you're all about, what you're focused on, and that way everybody can buy in to the vision of the community.
Perfect, thank you. Go ahead and briefly describe your skills and or experiences that would be of benefit to the overall success of the Castle Oaks Estates Master HOA.
I don't have any HOA applicable experience, but just being a part of teams in an office world where you have to be collaborative, you have to compromise at times, but mainly you just have to work together to get the job done. You have to listen, you have to care, you have to invest, you have to do all that. And so I've done that, and I continue to do that in my everyday job, and I just want to include that into the HOA experience as well.
Perfect, thank you. Within the framework of the position you're running for, please share your strengths and weaknesses, particular to these 4 areas. So the first one will be leadership.
Leadership, I've ran teams in my current position, and in my current position I lead multiple employees, and so I have experience just managing tasks, managing individuals on a personal basis. So from that sense, leadership isn't an issue, and also just leading by example, not expecting others to do it for me, but I'm more of a lead by example kind of guy. If I want something done, if I see trash in my neighborhood, I'm going to pick it up, not expect somebody to report it to an HOA so it can then get picked up by whoever gets paid to do it. It's my community, I'm going to pick it up.
Very good. And again, strengths and weaknesses with regards to financial understanding, which would be budgeting, expenditures, balance sheet, reserves.
I would say I'm more financially bent than I am artistically bent, and so all that stuff makes sense to me. I regularly, on a daily basis, look at financial documents, bank statements, tax returns, P&Ls, balance sheets, and so that stuff is not new to me. That's all stuff that I work with on a daily basis, and so I don't have any issues with those. With that and budgeting in and of itself, I budget my household, and I maintain. I know how much I can spend, I know how much I can't spend, and I know where to allocate money. And so I'm typically pretty sound with money. That's not an issue.
Okay, same thing for social, building and strengthening a sense of community, strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, I think meeting your neighbors, getting out there, not expecting them to come and knock on your door, but go and knock on their door. I had an opportunity, we had extra food one night we had a little get together, had some people over, and I had met my neighbor across the street one time, and thought, well, I'll just go see if their kids want some of this extra cake we have. And so I just went and asked them, they did, and gave it to them. And so, I mean, it's just little things like that, building bridges and making relationships and getting to know the neighbors that are next to you. And I think that's, the more you do that, the less awkward it will feel, and the more you're going to enjoy your community.
Great, thank you. Last one for those, strengths and weaknesses, architectural, understanding established guidelines and their application.
Sure, I actually used to work for an architecture firm, probably about 8 years ago. And so uniformity, I understand, and obviously there are requirements for homes to look a particular way in a community. You can't just go completely off the book and do whatever you want. So I mean, all that stuff makes sense because you're trying to maintain the value of your neighborhood, which we all care about because we all are homeowners. And so I'm for that, obviously, and but obviously I don't want to be a part of necessarily. I'm not a huge stickler on everything. I think, like I said, there's a responsibility for each of us to keep each other accountable, and then if that doesn't work, then we got to escalate that into the HOA program.
Very good. The position is a one-year commitment with quarterly board meetings and various working sessions throughout the year. Is that acceptable for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. And then briefly describe one aspect of the current Castle Oaks Estates Homeowners Association program that you would do differently and why.
I'm so new, I don't know if I have a great answer for this, but I think the better we can establish good communication, the happier the community will be, knowing that their opinions and voices are heard and they're responded to on a good timeline.
Great. Well, thank you very much for your time. And is there anything else you want to add before we close?
No, that would be everything. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Zach.